optimistic. Hopefully we've had a few bad games, but I think we'll win today.
Obviously there's not loads to play for, but would you like to see some positive signs going into next season?
I hope so. Like I say, we'll be coming obviously. Like I say, he's got to try and keep strengthening the team. I think from now to the end of the season, people have got contracts to play for and everything. He's got a lot to prove as well, because I know it's his first season. But fans are a little bit restless, so I think he's got to go all guns blazing for the rest of the season.
What have you made of the season so far? Have you been disappointed, or was this sort of always how it was going to be?
Typical Norwich. Typical. Up and down season. With, like I say, some of the games we've been to, great. Then other ones, like I say, it's back to the same old thing. And I know he wants to play pass and possession football, but you've got to have something in the final third. And then some of the games we're just not even getting in the final third.
Yeah, you said you were confident about today. Is this the sort of game that Norwich should be winning, really, at home against a team like Portsmouth?
If we want to progress into next season, from now until the end of the season, we've got to win all the home games coming up.
Can I have a couple of score predictions?
2-1.
I'll say 2-1 as well.
That sounds good.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
Norwich are currently sitting mid-table, Portsmouth are a bit lower.
Yeah.
So I think Norwich should be able to get a comfortable win today, so going confident into Monday's game.
Are you concerned at all that Portsmouth maybe have a bit more to play for than Norwich at the moment?
That could play a factor, as obviously they've still got relegation. It's still mathematically possible that Norwich could get promoted, but very unlikely. So I think Portsmouth, even though Portsmouth may be more to play for relegation, it still should be a game Norwich should win.
Do you want to see some signs that Norwich can kick on next season?
Oh, definitely. It's been, I've got to say, it's been a disappointing season. And all our hopes were at least the top six finish, and it was really too bad at one time. But no, hey, we kick on and go again next season. So
Indeed.
Keep hoping and see how it goes.
Can I have a couple of score predictions for today?
I think they're gonna Josh Sargent couple. So maybe 3-0 Norwich. What do you reckon?
I think it'll be quite. I think also Norwich could concede a few, but I think Norwich will score a lot. So I think it'll be similar to the game against Stoke, and I think Norwich will win 4-2.
Well, awful, wasn't it? Schoolboy stuff. Josh Murphy ran us ragged. Couldn't touch him, couldn't get near him, and just Schoolboy defending. The amount of times we give the ball away, it's just crazy. It'd be okay if you're a possession-based team. You really need to be hanging on to the ball, not giving it to the opposition every turn. But I mean, we don't ever boo. Me and my mate, we don't boo, but that was worthy of the booing they were getting.
I mean, those defensive issues. Do you put it down to sort of the organisation of the team and the tactics, or is that individual problems?
I think so, because beginning of the season, not too bad at all, were we? We were doing that to other teams, but now they're doing it to us, and it's just a form thing. I think they just lost that form, lost the confidence. It's a bit like the end of the Parker season, where we went to Sheffield and got duffed up there. It's just history repeating itself, isn't it?
Is it especially of concern because it is getting worse? Like you said, at the start of the season, Norwich were playing pretty well. So is that a worry for you going into next season, or do you just sort of disregard it?
No, I'm always pretty positive about things, As I say, it's end of Farke's first season, that was pretty poor as well. You've got to give Johannes a chance to build again in the summer, and then give him at least a few months to try and put it right, and hope he does.
Do you feel for him a little bit with some of the sort of individual performances that the team are putting out? Because obviously he'll get a lot of criticism for it, but I suppose there are some things that are sort of out of his hands when the players are on the pitch, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. He can only, he's not coming on the pitch for them. He can only coach them during the week, send them out there and tells them what to do. And if they're off form, it just doesn't happen, does it? And then that just builds. The fans are getting on their backs. That destroys their confidence even more. The fans are chanting how poor they were today to their own players, and you know how it goes from there. It just spirals down. You're never going to come back from that.
Pretty poor.
I think, to be honest, it was up there with the 7-1 Colchester.
Yeah.
It looked like a typical, some of the players are down tools a little bit. Still support them, you know. 3 games left, and some of the players just got to play for a bit of pride, really, regardless of whether they're off. If they're staying, they just got to play for a bit of pride, because, you know, people pay their hard-earned money to come and watch them play, and really today wasn't good enough. But like we say, we still support them, we still support the players. Some of them tried really hard. I think Long got a bit of undue criticism. I don't think you could blame him for any of the goals. But yeah, and Wright played well as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just got to play for a bit of pride the last 3 games, really.
Yeah, you mentioned that Colchester game. I think that's the most goals they've conceded outside the Premier League since then. I mean, defensively, it was all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I thought it was a bit harsh on Long, because he's making the first saves and then they were putting the rebounds in. They've got to react a little bit quicker. And first half down the wings had obviously targeted the 2 fullbacks to get crosses in the box into the bloke that got the hat-trick. But we just didn't deal with it, really. And to be fair to Forrest, I like him, but he was a bit late with the substitution, really. If it's not working, you make your sub, whether that's in the 20th minute or the 45th minute. But
yeah, what do you put the defensive problems down to? Is it the quality of the individuals, or is it the setup and the tactics?
I think we're just a bit square sometimes, and we can't seem to deal with crosses. First half especially, as I say, the crosses were coming in left, right and centre. We weren't really dealing, we weren't really clearing the lines, and they were just putting the rebounds in.
Do you feel confident that this team can do much better next season, or do you need to see a few more signs?
You need more signings. The team, you can't lose 5-3 at home to a team that's fighting against relegation, and think that that's a team that's going to be there. But we all know that a lot of the players, some of the players aren't going to be. Obviously, it didn't help Sargent going off at half time. But you know, you could say that's a sign of the times, because he's not going to be here next year, so they've got to obviously cope with that. I'm hoping that, you know, players like Cernak will come in next year and obviously add the year. Obviously, we've got the lad we signed in January that we haven't seen very much of, so hopefully he'll come in. But you know, there are some positives. Obviously not today, there isn't any positives out of today's game, but there are some positives through the season. We've had some really good home wins, played some really good football at the start of the season. It's just sort of tailed off since Christmas, really.